Hello, my name is Art Garrison, and I design, manufacture, and sell directly to the end user unique work holding systems that are guaranteed to increase your margin of profit, because you'll see some things that you haven't seen before. And I know these are tough times, and to weather the storm, we have to increase our productivity. Now, I can help. Now, my system is based on a really new vise that is truly a great advancement over existing vices. And the system is very low priced and will pay for itself many times over. This vise has the workstation away from the operator. And by the time you add your cabinet clearance, in order for the operator to reach the workstation, he has to bend over quite a ways back, and that is hard on the back. This vise has the workstation next to the operator. This vise has a 2-inch jaw block positioned by a key, and if you put a thin part close to the top of the jaw and do full clamping, that jaw will move 3 thousandths. This jaw will not tilt. It has a 4-inch span. Another feature is this cavity that in some cases has the screw exposed, and a collector of chips and trash. Also, it has 2 rails for you to set your parts on, and with a small part you have to set it on one rail or the other, and that can cock the movable jaw so you don't get good square clamping. Another thing that's inconvenient, especially if you got multiple vices on the machine, is to crank this jaw up to here. You're doing a lot of cranking. This vise has a new feature that I think you'll be impressed with. All you have to do is lift, position, and drop that movable jaw in place. This vise, for instance, you can see it's much larger. This has a 6-inch jaw, 1.5 inches, with a 6 to 7 inch capacity depending on the model number. This vise has an 8-inch jaw, 2.5 inches tall, and it has a 12-inch capacity. The reason most shops don't use 8-inch vices is because of the weight. You notice there's not even any hold downs on this vise. You remove the cover, bolt it down, which you can be much more secure than just 2 bolts. There's at least 4 in here. And you can see how clean it is. You have a nice flat surface, no cavities to catch chips and things like that. Also, you can place your parts in the center because you have full surface, not a couple of rails, and you can get better gripping. You can remove the removable jaw completely. We mentioned that one reason people aren't using 8-inch vices is the weight. This vise weighs 75 pounds. This vise, with the movable jaw removed, weighs 37 pounds. And we can even make larger vices. This vise has a unique built-in pneumatic system. Has a screw that develops about the same force as the pneumatic system. The neat thing about it is that you can use either one or both. With 3 vices on the table and the stainless spacers in between to cover your T-slots, you can see how sanitary that is. There's no place for chips. And what in the world are you doing with a 20 by 40 table and a 6-inch vise that was designed 50 years ago? The only reason that most people don't use 8-inch vices is the weight, and we've taken care of that. We got the versatility of a dual force system that can be used individually or together. We have a good hold down system. We have the pull down feature that's necessary these days. We have the workstation close to the operator. Now let's look at the jaw system. This has a quick change jaw that's very solid and will allow you to work above the vise surface. A lot of jaws won't do that. It comes off very easily. It's a takeoff on the Duv-Loc jaws that I invented over 17 years ago. And it has 3 hold down areas. 1 near the top and 2 near the bottom. That'll keep the jaw from tending to tilt if you have a tall jaw. And you say, well, I've got a bunch of Kurt type soft jaws in the crib that I've had for years, and I need to use those. Okay, well, you merely tighten these pull downs, they retract. Just tighten them on back till they stop. That gets those out of the way. This is drilled and tapped to the standard Kurt hold pattern. The jaws sit on these dowels, so now you can use any of your Kurt jaws, your snap jaws, any of your quick change jaws. You can even use your original Duv-Loc jaws that had 1 slot. Of course, they're only a 6-inch, but it'll pull them in place, lock them down. And if you notice this jaw, the cut is not very deep, so it doesn't waste a lot of space in your jaw. Also, there's no bolts in the jaw at all to hit with your cutter or to catch trash. And my previous quick change jaws are patented, but on these I'm not even going to apply for a patent, because I know that a lot of you will want to make your own jaws, and I'll furnish you drawings. Let's talk about the dual force system that I mentioned. It works with a screw just as any normal vise would, but it also has a pneumatic feature that moves the movable jaw forward, and it has about 3,000 pounds of force, and you can actually double that if you come on with your screw. If you want it clamp apart, you may place it in your vise, bring your movable jaw up, drop it in place, tighten your screw, which will bring it forward and clamp it, and then just back it off a little so that you can get the part out, however much you want to back it off. And then activate your pneumatic. It clamps it. When you get ready to run the next batch of parts, just release it, pull it out. You don't have to mess with the vise handle anymore. It clamps it. Now remember that 3 of these can be manifolded, and the 1 valve will work all 3 vices. Also, remember the 12-inch of capacity. I have a pallet receiver that fits right on these vices. And with 3 vices on the table, you can just place the receiver on, and it makes a great pallet system. And I have carts that transport the pallets, and they're pretty neat too. And I like the larger capacity. It makes it a lot easier for squaring parts up. There's room for squares and things, and it has a flat floor.